anybody had told me at the beginning of 2019 that I was going to be in Canada, I would have told them, please rest in Jesus' name. I was hoping to at least travel to Calabar, Port Harcourt, or Dubai. So like my tentacles were still like within Nigeria area. You guys, this is my relocation story and I'm going to be sharing it with you on this video. Anyway, welcome to my channel. My name is Susan and today I'm going to be telling you how I moved from Nigeria, Lagos to be precise, how I jackpot from Nigeria to Canada, how I moved here, right? And it's a pretty random story. To be honest, it was unplanned and I'm going to be sharing about that on this video. So grab your popcorn, whatever you want, because this is story time. Now, before we go on, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. On this channel, I talk about lifestyle, faith topics, growth, personal development, and quite some tips on having a career in technology because I'm a software engineer as well. And so if you like content like this, please do well to subscribe. And I'll get right to the point of this video because I know that's why you're here. So if anybody had told me at the beginning of 2019 that I was going to be in Canada, I would have told them, please rest in Jesus' name, because it wasn't my plan. I wasn't actively trying to be in Canada. I just like living my life and, still lounging in Nigeria. Actually, I went to check my notes because I usually do goals for the year, New Year resolution stuff at the beginning of the year. So I had goals for the year for 2019 that I had set. I usually have it in my notes app on my phone or my Mac. So I went to check and I saw that at the top, or I think the third or fourth thing was possibly relocate. But at the bottom of that list was travel to 3 places before the end of the year. So I was hoping to at least travel to Calabar, Port Harcourt, or Dubai. So my tentacles were still within Nigeria area, or I was still thinking I would be in Nigeria at the beginning of the year. So I was, just doing regular stuff, going to work and doing, my normal routine. Because I worked at a tech company at the time in Lagos, and I had been there for I think about 4 years. And so I started to think about, potentially applying to other companies outside Nigeria, because I heard that people could get visa sponsorships from outside Nigeria. So I was applying to Germany because it was really easy to get sponsorship. Nobody was accepting my application. My applications, I wasn't even getting to the interview point, right? So maybe from my resume, not enough experience in those countries, whatever, I was just not getting called back for any interview. If I'm to count how many companies I applied to at the time, I wouldn't be exaggerating if I said they were probably up to 100, because I was just blindly applying, to be honest. And so a lady reached out to me and she asked if I was interested in applying to a company here, and told me what they do, sent me the information, asked me if they were interested. I checked them out. I was quite interested, right? Although I noticed they were doing C#, but I was like, I'm just going to give it a shot, right? They'll probably not call me back like the others have been doing, so I didn't really take it seriously. So I got involved with the interview process. I did a take-home assignment. I was given 2 days to do the take-home assignments, and I ended up doing it in the second week because I was just not serious and I wasn't taking it seriously. And so I was just like, whatever, man. I just left it, and then at some point I picked it back up and I did it and I submitted, and voila, I got a response back. So they were like, oh, we want to interview you. So I did a third interview and then I did a fourth interview. So when they called me back for the second interview after the take-home assignment, I was like, if you call me for 5 interviews, as long as I don't see offer, I'm not going to take you guys seriously. But then they called me for a third and a fourth interview, and I was like, okay. Normally, if you don't do well at the second or third, stage, they'll have told you, we're sorry, we've hired someone else, and you should good luck on your search and stuff. But at that point, I was already getting anxious. I was like, this seems pretty serious. Okay, so I was beginning to ask myself questions. So Susan, what's going to happen if you get an offer from this company? You're going to have to move out of Nigeria. You're going to leave all your family and your friends. You're going to start afresh. Right now, this is not my first time leaving Nigeria. I've traveled to the US a couple of times, outside Nigeria a couple of times, but I've always been there kind of temporarily, and it was always a work trip. So I've not really been there on my own for a long time. So this was going to be a huge decision for me. I had also just gotten into a relationship at the time, so I was like, long distance, no please. So I started thinking about it, and funny enough, at that time when I started thinking about it, I was like, even if these guys give me an offer, I don't think I'm going to travel. Like, I started thinking that I would probably not want to travel, right? Maybe I'll just keep the offer and wait till I'm ready. Because, like I said earlier, this was not part of my plan. I thought it was going to be like a 2-3 year, possibly relocate plan. I didn't intend to travel in 2019. So, after about 5 interviews, I started waiting. I didn't hear anything. I was like, I said they're not going to call me back. Let me just face my life here in Nigeria. So after a while, I think on a Wednesday, sometime in March or April, they sent me an email and tell me welcome to the company and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited. I was getting a job from Canada in Nigeria. That was exciting news, right? So I was really happy. I was grateful to God, of course, thanking of my parents, my sisters, my brothers, for taking me, getting me up to this point in life. But like, I was so excited. But then I now had to start thinking about what would happen from here on out, where to move to, where to stay, how I'd live, visa stuff, all this Western stuff. Even though I was saying possibly relocate, I was not doing all of that. So I had to start doing all of that, getting my documents ready, talking to my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, about how we would manage long distance, and just trying to figure out how this new life change would be for me, because it was really huge. I must tell you, it was huge. So I ended up not getting the visa till much later in the year, I think October, for some reason, but I eventually got it, and then I had to travel in December because I postponed my resumption at the company till the next year, because it just made sense to resume it next year. So I left Nigeria in December 2019, late 2019. I resumed working at this company in January, and then started living in Canada. Thankfully I had like a family friend, so I was able to stay with them for a couple of months, like on my place. Of course, there were challenges moving, right? There were challenges locating new environments, not really knowing so many people and stuff. But I'm going to share that in a new video. If you want me to share that video, let me know in the comments. But this is my story. This is my relocation story. I basically moved to Canada with a work visa, which eventually became permanent residency. It's been great-ish moving here. Pretty different for sure, but like, that was my experience, and I hope that someone found it useful and this helps you. If you're planning to relocate, feel free to ask me any questions about what my relocation was like in the comments. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.